Welcome to the Notes on Becoming podcast, where we have honest conversations about growth, change, and the process of becoming our best selves. I'm your host, Riley Rehl, and I'm going to be honest, I tried to record this episode twice, and I was hating what I was saying. And I was talking about nutrition and talking about grocery shopping, but it just didn't feel right for tonight. And so I just want to talk to you. And I know this is the second week in a row where it's not like a topical episode, but I just feel like I want to have a conversation. So we're just going to chat. The first thing that comes to mind is the fact that I need to go grocery shopping tomorrow. And I'm thinking about the fact that I just finished my 8-week cut, which has been a really interesting experience for me because I have been tracking macros, and I talked a little bit about this last week. I'm wrapping up the challenge, and I feel very proud of myself for the way that I handled it and navigated it, even though at certain times my mind fell back into old patterns. Like, I feel like for the most part, I've seen so much growth and so much change since the last time I did something like this, and it has felt different. It has felt motivated by this desire to become the person that I'm meant to be, and just knowing that there's this part of me that I can better, and it's not coming from a place of hating myself or wanting to change myself because I don't like the person that I am necessarily. It comes from this place of just knowing that I can do more and I can be more, and that this challenge will help me grow. And so I'm grateful for the experience I've had, even though there have been some ups and downs. There have been some I've been in a couple mental battles, but honestly, for the most part, all things considered, all my past considered, like, it's honestly felt like facing a Goliath in a way, and like coming out on the other side. And I might even end up doing 12 weeks of the cut instead of 8. I wanted to give myself do at least 8, reevaluate, see what you think, maybe even eat out of maintenance, and then go back down if I want to. I am proud of myself. I want to acknowledge that, and then I'll just let myself go from there. But it's always a really good exercise for me to also just see and remember what nutrients food is made up of, and just understand it better and remind myself. And I do feel like tracking macros is the best way to do that, because I really understand the nutritional makeup of foods better when I'm tracking everything. So that's been a really good exercise for me too. For the most part, it's been good. And I've also come to a place where I'm not embarrassed to talk about it, which has been really interesting, because I felt a lot of guilt actually before starting my cut, almost this embarrassment at wanting to change myself. And it was a really interesting concept. I don't know how much I talked about this, but it's I almost felt this guilt and embarrassment for wanting to change. And I think that came from a place of being, not pride in myself, but I don't know. Everybody tells you these days that you're perfect just the way you are. And to a certain extent, well, I don't believe you're perfect just the way you are. I don't believe I'm perfect just the way I am. I think there's so many things that I need to change, and so many ways I need to grow. And that's honestly the point of this life. And so I would hate it if I'm perfect the way I am. I would hate if I could never change. But I think in this specific case, there's this balance of loving yourself and needing to be at peace with who you are and where you are, and also coming to a point where you're okay with recognizing that you want to change. And I think just getting to a place where I could see that and wanted to do that, but then articulating that and owning that almost felt like in a public context I was not harming myself, but just acknowledging that I'm not that great. I don't really understand why I felt this way, but it was this I almost felt like other people would take it as me putting myself down, and I didn't want to give off that energy of I'm not good enough the way I am. Instead, I just wanted people to see me as awesome. I don't really know, guys. Honestly, it's been a really interesting thought process, but I think over the course of this cut and just recognizing what it is and why I'm doing it, I've gotten to a place where I can talk about it confidently. I actually was on a date yesterday, and the guy was asking me about being gluten-free and why I'm eating gluten-free right now, and I mentioned like I'm on a cut right now and it's just easier to hit my goals, for the day when I'm not eating gluten. And just to be able to even talk about it in that way and just own that, like, yes, I am on a cut, I am doing this thing. It's not because I think less of myself and because I want, like, I'm not good enough, and like I don't feel that way when I talk about it to other people anymore. It's very much I'm at peace with my reasonings, and it's been really good and really interesting. I don't know. I have no idea if anybody else relates to that or if anybody else has had this experience, but that's been mine so far with the cut. I really want to get certified in nutrition and personal training, and that's a whole other topic. But part of the reason is because I want to understand all of these things better, and I want to help other people. I want to be able to articulate and explain and teach all of these principles better, and also use my experiences and all of the things that I've learned over the years in combination with the education that I receive to help people to learn and to apply and to grow in this area. So that's one of my goals. I'm not sure when I'll do that, but it is an educational piece that I want to acquire in this life, and maybe even in the next year, like in 2026, I think I would love to do that. So that's one of my plans. But yeah, that's kind of an overview of how the cut's gone. And for the most part, I'm just proud of myself. I'm proud of myself for sticking to it, even though I wasn't perfect all the time. And even though I, quote unquote messed up, or like I tried not to even have that perspective, because I think that's very negative. That can lead to very negative spirals. Like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, like I totally messed up today, like this guilt associated with it, because I've been down that road and it's not a fun one. So this time I really just allowed myself to be human, allowed myself to mess up sometimes, and just like wake up the next day and try the best I can and recognize the process is the point. And that was super, super helpful. Some of my favorite things to eat during my cut, I mean, it's kind of been consistent with just the things I like to eat in general. Like, I haven't really changed that much, but I eat a lot of squash. I guess it honestly has changed now that I think about it. Squash is one of my main carb sources. I actually haven't eaten a lot of potatoes, or sweet potatoes I barely have eaten at all, just because they're super high in carbs, and if I want more volume, then I just prefer something like a squash, because I can have like a bigger bowl of it versus just like a couple pieces. Same thing with regular potatoes, just any starchy vegetable that is super high in carbs, I'll usually switch out for something a little less. I love cabbage. I love bulking up my meals. My Ninja Creamies have changed a little bit. I put water in them more than I do like milk, and that's just kind of, that low-key is because I've been out of milk lately. But that's another little hack, is certain protein powders you can do that with, and they turn out really yummy as a Ninja Creamy, even just super plain. But also they are better if you put other things in them. So it all just depends on what you want to do. But those are some things that I really love eating. Ground beef, salmon, tuna, herring. Those are all protein sources I've been loving during the cut. Fruits, vegetables, popcorn. I have this popcorn popper that I put in the microwave that is literally the best thing ever. I'm obsessed with it. If you like popcorn, you absolutely need this thing, because it has a little scooper on the top, and you just scoop popcorn kernels and you put it in this little, it's almost like a glass bowl with a lid, and you put the lid on it and you put it in the microwave for like 2.5 minutes, and then you put salt on it, and then you've got like this single serving bowl of popcorn, and it's the best thing ever. And I think I bought it for like $10 on Amazon, and I was using an air popper before, and then it broke, and then I was popping it on my stovetop, and this is just the best way that I've ever seen for popping popcorn. So if you don't have one, you need one. It's amazing. Highly recommend that. That's a great, like, I love that as a treat at night, just some popcorn. I've also been eating a lot of G2G bars lately for toppings on Ninja Creamies or protein shakes, and that has been really amazing. I've loved eating that. And just, I mix and match so much. I'm like all over the place. I kind of just look at what I have in my fridge and just make things. So that's also been really nice. And I just kind of do that whether I'm in a cut or not. But those are some of my favorites lately that I've been eating. I want to be so honest about how I've been feeling the last couple of weeks. I've been like so off, you guys. I don't know what it is, but I have been struggling a lot with my work and just finding a balance. Like, it has been so hard for me, and I don't necessarily know how to fix it or what to do about it, because I just feel super overwhelmed with what I need to do and how much I have to do. And like, I feel so driven by this purpose that I have, but at the same time it feels like I can't do everything that I need to do. And there's just this pressure financially that I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm stressed out about that. And it can feel crippling at times. I don't know if you guys feel this way in your own way. Like, if there's anything that you are struggling with that you just like feel just like so worried about and just like stressed about. Like, I've just had these like this pressure in my chest and just like this nervousness about doing everything that I need to do. I'm feeling like I don't have the capacity for it. And that's been something that's really been hard for me lately. But I've been really trying to give myself grace and take a step back and be like, I can do this. I can do it, and I'm going to figure it out day by day. And I've really been feeling that with YouTube and with Instagram and just trying to figure out what I want to do and who I want to be on there, and the best way for me to navigate those platforms and the time and effort I put into each of them. Because YouTube is in and of itself a full-time job, and then you throw Instagram on there too, and it's like, oh my gosh. Like, it's crazy. Especially, I think specifically in the way that I do YouTube. Like, a typical vlog style video, I could do both of them. Like, I could definitely do like a vlog and do Instagram. But then Instagram would become the main thing, because vlogs are just not, they don't like work in today's day. They really don't. Like, if you look at the views on a week in the life, like, it's not how it used to be when I started YouTube. And also, I just don't find making those videos fulfilling. So it's really hard for me to think about, like, consider even making that, now. Like, I don't think it'd be fulfilling for me. But it's just hard because YouTube is so much time and effort. And I feel like I'm a little bit stagnant in both YouTube and Instagram, because I'm feeling so stressed out about doing both of them really well that I'm not able to do either of them as well as I want to be. But I don't know how to fix that. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know how to change and how to get to a place where I'm feeling really good about it. And the Becoming series, like, I almost feel like I need to finish that so that I can make the content on YouTube that aligns with the things that I learn, and almost generate those experiences that I need in order to create the long form YouTube videos that I want to make. So, but then it's like, if I'm going to post on YouTube every single week, it's just so much time editing, so much time just working on it. And I just don't know the balance. I don't know the balance, and I don't want to let go of the growth that I'm seeing on Instagram and like let that fall away because I'm busy on YouTube. But because I love both of those platforms. I've truly come to love Instagram. And then I also feel like there's this pressure of finding my exact niche. Like, there are certain people that I really enjoy watching. Like, I don't know if there's anyone in particular that I'm like, they make content like I want to be making content. Like, the Becoming series is a mixture of all of these things that I've seen, or at least like the format of the video. But I don't want every single video I make to be that structured. I love Sydney Adams' content, and her content is really, especially her short form content. I love her short form content because it's so just like natural and lifestyle, and she lives a life that is in line with the type of lifestyle that I want to live when it comes to health and fitness and just what she does for work. And I don't know, it seems like really wholesome, and she shares lots of cute things, and I think it's great. So it's this contrast of like, I love that. I love consuming content like that. It helps me be better. I look up to her. I look up to other people that make content too. But it's like, I am not her, you know, I will never be her. And the content that I make, like, I don't just want to be somebody else. So it's this constant battle on social media, especially because I still feel like I'm just getting started, you know, like I'm trying to figure it out. And there's this struggle there with, okay, I love her stuff. I love all these other people's stuff, but I'm not them and I never will be them. So how can I look at what they make and take the things I love about it and then apply it to me and my personality and who I am and what I want to share, and make things that are similar but that are still me. And also just find the type of content that I make the best, you know? Because part of me thinks that I don't make content like she makes the best, because I'm a YouTuber and I'm used to heavily editing things and like being really into the project and the storytelling, and not so much like, this is what I did in a day, you know, like this is my vlog. But I don't know. That's kind of the struggle. It's like, I'm not exactly sure how I want to share this message of becoming on a daily, weekly basis, especially after the Becoming series ends. But then it's like, don't think that far, because it hasn't ended and you're like still in phase 1. And so tell those stories. But then those stories take lots of work and time and effort. And it's like, okay, how do I balance that time and work and effort with what I'm supposed to be doing on YouTube? And then I feel like I'm making things for Instagram that aren't as high quality as I want to be, because I'm putting so much time into YouTube, even though I know that if I had the time that I could make good things for Instagram. It's kind of a struggle. I'm figuring it out right now, and it's interesting. So, but I have been making some good money off of Google AdSense lately, because I had my calisthenics videos doing pretty well, which is really exciting for me. And I also have been getting some sponsorship opportunities, some people outreaching for that, which has been really exciting too. So I'm so grateful, and I'm really excited to just keep learning, and I know I'll figure it out. I also want to talk about my dating challenge a little bit, you guys. It's been really, really fun to go on these Hinge dates. I really enjoy this aspect of like mystery that comes with online dating, where really you kind of know what somebody looks like from what you can tell from their profile, and then you just kind of don't know anything about them, because I personally don't like to talk to people very much before I go on a date. So we go on a date, and then it's like, whoa, like I'm literally meeting a complete stranger, and it's kind of a toss-up whether or not we'll vibe. And then it's like the biggest toss-up if like we like really get along or really don't. And it's been really cool to see how I react to certain people, and the guys that I immediately know, like, no, like this isn't going anywhere because our energy or just the vibe doesn't match. And then there are some guys where it's like immediate attraction, where I'm like, oh, like I'm attracted to you more than I'm attracted to some of the other guys I've been on dates with. Like there's this pull there that isn't there with other people. And then kind of exploring that and being like, does this go deeper? And are we a match in the other ways that are really important? And it's just been really interesting. It's been super cool for me to go on tons of dates in a short period of time. I've never actually done that in my life before. Like I've been on dates, and I feel like I have a lot of experience going on dates and in dating. Despite not having a lot of relationships, I feel very grounded in what I'm looking for in a person, and very grounded in my own identity and what I have to offer and everything. But it's been interesting to just get to know so many people in quick succession and tell very quickly how I feel. So that's been a really, really cool experience. And if you're in a position and a place where you want to start dating, I highly recommend Hinge, and I highly recommend giving yourself a challenge to get back into dating and just try to go on as many dates in quick succession as you possibly can. I will be honest, managing the times and the days of all these dates has been kind of crazy. Like it's been kind of crazy, but it's been good for me. It's been really good for me. And after the challenge is over, I plan to keep going on dates, maybe not 3+ a week, but definitely 1 or 2 dates a week at least. I want to make it a priority because it's in this phase of my life that I want to meet the person I'm supposed to be with. And I will regret it if I don't give that a good shot right now, you know, or at least do what I can. And so that's what I'm doing. Guys, my sleep schedule has also been shot lately. It's been so bad. Right now it's 8:44 and I have to upload this and edit this episode for tomorrow because I didn't do it earlier this week because it was crazy. But I am proud of myself for showing up and getting this podcast episode done. But yeah, basically this whole week, my sleep schedule, I was going to bed at midnight, which is crazy because earlier this summer, I was going to bed at like 8 p.m. Right now, it's 8:44. So I was trying to go to bed at like 8:30, but like I said, this episode was kind of rough getting into, but we made it. We made it here eventually. And that's one thing I just feel like I need to do the Becoming series because I need to do phase 2 and I need to do phase 3 and I want to make them. I don't know how to do it all. I definitely have tips on how to make a night routine and how to make a morning routine. Like I know how to do that. And also backing it up with Atomic Habits and learning from that and just like basing everything in the science that it shares. Like I'm going to teach all of that in my Becoming series episodes and I'm just so excited about it. So look forward to that. I'm going to get in a routine again. I know I will. It's just I've been shifting some priorities with going on dates and with spending time with people and doing all that, which is good. It's just figuring out the right balance of it all. It's all going to work out, guys. It's all going to be okay. I know it will be. Things are going to happen the way they're supposed to for everything. For everything they will. I feel like at church today, I had a lot of these feelings of like, this is the point, you know, like being in these times of not knowing what to do or where to go or not feeling like you have the capacity to do everything that's asked of you or everything that you feel you're supposed to do. Like in that feeling, there's so much growth that happens. There's so much we learn about what we're capable of and who we are. And despite it being hard for me to feel this way, I am grateful for the lessons that I'm learning in the process. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be challenged and the opportunity to be pushed past my limits and to be cut down so that I can grow bigger and to be better. And I do feel like that right now. It can be hard, but it can also be the catalyst of so many good things. And so I'm going to trust that. I'm going to trust that this is the catalyst for so many good things. And I'm going to trust that I'm going to figure it out. And as I keep taking action, everything's going to work out the way it should. So in all areas, in my Becoming series, in my life, in my financial situation, with YouTube, with dating, with everything. Everything's going to be okay in the end. And I trust that. And I know that. And I want you to know that that's the same for you. Just keep trying to be the person you need to be step by step, challenge by challenge. It's going to be okay. And it's going to work out. I know today was more of a life update again, just like last week, but I'm grateful that you spent this time with me. And I hope that you took some good things away from this conversation. And if you're feeling a similar way that I am in some areas, it might not be YouTube and Instagram and a cut or whatever it may be, or dating, you know, like you might not be experiencing the same things I am, but I hope that some of the things I shared resonated with you and helped you in some way. And I'm so grateful to have you here. Thanks for listening to these episodes, and thanks for listening to this podcast and supporting me and being here. And I hope that you're learning good things. I just hope that I'm helping at all. I don't know. At the very least, I hope I can be a friend that can talk through these things with you and just to be there to support you in your goals and in your journey of becoming. And I'm excited for that to continue for you and me both. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I had a really good time catching up with you and sharing some thoughts, and I'm excited for next week's episode, and I hope to see you there.